made sure they didn't get anywhere near that bringing up fourth down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure they didn't give up much run after catch.
A great return there, bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. And it'll be Packer football here, first down and 10. Good starting field position for them here as they come up first and 10 at the 40. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. Touchdown, Packers! Aaron Jones, 60 yards, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Well, I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. One play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. This will be taken very short. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Carr throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. And the big meat on the D-line. We'll see how they do today.
And I'd hate to be an offensive lineman having to deal with these guys. They come in hungry, mean, and confident. They think that no one can block them.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. On the ground, this is Jalen Richard. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. They were ahead of schedule after the gain of 7 on first down, but the defense does not budge on 2nd and 3rd.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
34 yards on the return, but for a moment looked like he had a shot to go all the way. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Rodgers to throw. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Vontaze Burfict. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. Now, they told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
And now Oakland ready to take the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
They'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Carr. And that is incomplete.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on third down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this score will stay right where it is. And there is nothing easy about being a kicker on a day like this.
Yeah, I tell you, not only is the footing tough in the snow, but kicking that ball is like kicking a rock. Very difficult to get any sort of feel on your kicks.
Number 12 back out there. Aaron and his Packer teammates set to begin their drive. And he'll need to find a way to shrug off the opening drive, if you can even call it a drive. One play and an interception, so he's got to forget that.
I know that in today's football, we have a good number of coaches who don't look at time of possession the way that the old school guys did, but there's still a place for it. And I think that on this drive, after having thrown that interception, they're going to want to eat up a little bit more clock and run some offense and give their defense a little bit of a break.
It's a gain of 34. He's off to a great start here in this first quarter. It seems like this defense is probably going to have trouble containing him.
I would agree with that. I love the observation. And here's the thing. Their game plan coming to fruition. You knew that they came in thinking that they could run it, and now they're proving that they can and doing it in a big way.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Got a man, that's Allison. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. From 19 yards away. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. And on that one, able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch and a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
Extra point try now for Crosby. Well, these may be an adventure this afternoon, but this one is good. Hardly any time taken off the clock there. 2 plays, and they find the end zone for 6 points. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Working from the gun, it's Carr. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Darren Waller, the intended receiver, but now it'll be 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Carr. And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down. Preston Smith comes in for the sack. The Raiders with the football here to begin quarter number 2. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. On the return is Irvin. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Packers will have a short field to work with here as they take over 1st and 10. Here's Aaron Jones in the offense, trotting back out. He's in a zone, 2nd quarter, already closing in on a 100-yard game.
And that's the magic number for a running back. Anytime you get to that triple digits, that's all you're looking for. But he's got a chance to really exceed that in this one.
Yeah, he does. That's been the gold standard for a long time, hasn't it, that 100-yard mark?
It really has, and that never has to shift because it's in a game. It's a 1,000-yard mark. I'm wondering, since we've gone from 12 to 14 to 16 games, maybe we need to up that a little.
It's caught here by Adams. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Davante Adams, 26 yards. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further.
The defense is doing their best, but they're struggling right now. They'll look for some help from their own offense to keep them in the game.
So now Rodgers will lead the Packers up to go for 2. They're going to run for it with Jones. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that exit, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the 2nd quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Throwing now is Carr. He'll find his running back here, Richard. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Here's Carr. And his throw is incomplete. Darren Waller, the intended receiver, and it'll bring up 3rd down. Charles, he doesn't seem to be particularly in tune with his receivers, just 2 for 7 throwing the football, but he did seem really locked in before the game.
Yeah, and that has to do with receivers sometimes. Sometimes the defenders knock them off their routes, and they're usually pretty precise. 1, 2, 3 cut, balls out of his hands to the receiver. In this case, might be off by a half step either way. They've got to find a way to get back in sync.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
Here's Irvin to return. Well, that looked for a second like he might take it all the way, but as it stands, it's still a massive return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. On second down, it's Jones. He's got a first down and much more inside the 20. Touchdown, Packers! Aaron Jones with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
You always worry about the plant foot in the snow, but no problems there. And the route is on here in this first half. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's just been looking for some space. I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They got to feel pretty good about that one.
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. His first catch, good for 9 and a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
It's our field. Hey, it's our house.
He's got it to Williams. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Carr defers to Jacobs on the draw. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. A reminder coming up at halftime while the two of us head for warmer areas of the press box. We'll be sending you to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half. Got a man. It's complete. Williams. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 40. Now Carr.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Kevin King with a pick. Accelerating, and off he goes. 20, 10, 5, and into the end zone. It's a pick 6 and a Packer touchdown. That pick 6 extending this lead even further. And boy, it's been a while since I've seen a team struggle this badly in the first half.
I think all they want to do is get to the locker room, try and regroup, and come out to start the third quarter. But if things don't improve fast then, I think the backups get a lot of play in the second half.
Now Crosby for the point after. And the route is on here in this first half. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Derek Carr getting ready to go again on offense. In second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people, lean on your teammates. Find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Or this, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Carr. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the first down marker. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Here's A.J. Cole now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. So possession goes over here on the punt. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat...
Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Throwing back across his body. Nevin Lawson with a pick. And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll send you down to Orlando and we check in with... And now due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. Not too many breaks ahead according to the radar. More snow on the horizon as we are back underway in half number 2. This will be taken in at the 1. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Now Aaron Rodgers and the offense heading back onto the field. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say, want to get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, at the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the third quarter. He had a really solid first half running the football and picking up where he left off here in the third quarter.
How about the yardage he's piling up right now? This feels like a full game, not just this series that we're watching right now. I know people are screaming, where are the adjustments from halftime on the defensive side of the ball? Sometimes they're just not there. Sometimes you just have to find a way to tackle someone.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Now it's Rodgers. Lewis has the first down and then some. And this is caught. Mercedes Lewis with a grab. And all the way down to the 33-yard line. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up the first down.
That's what impresses me about him when he's... And Rodgers intercepted a third time. Picked off by Carl Joseph. And he'll be stopped shy of the 15 at the 14-yard line on the return. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm?
In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Dean Lowry, credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. On 2nd down, Jacobs. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Hate to say it, but that play typifies what we've seen from this offense all game long.
Yeah, don't you think maybe you flip over your play sheet as the offensive coordinator and see the side that says try something different? You know, because this has not worked all game long. They continue to try and get it done. They've got to come up with something a little bit different. Try something special, something they haven't seen.
Anything to score a point.
Well, that's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath by all means.
That's pulled in at the 32. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And that's complete to Adams. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a first.
I think it all came together there. In breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
The first carry now for the BYU man. It's Jamal Williams. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. He covered a lot of ground, great blocking, and now they can sniff that end zone.
They certainly can, and because of that run, maybe you come back and fake it to him on this play and throw a little play action. Someone should break wide open.
Now Jones. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown. Taking it in from 4 yards out as his guys continue to pour it on. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now. No question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. Yeah, what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead. Extra point try now for Crosby. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And the last play in the drive was a touchdown run by Aaron Jones. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
On the ground is Jacobs to start the drive. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
From the 27, Carr throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Pass complete to Richard, the running back. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Eluding the pressure right. He's going to... Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That one good for 37 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Now a 1st down carry by Jones. And he's taken down inside the 30. 13 yards, 1st down Packers. Now, I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this fourth quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big run.
And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Aaron Jones, 29 yards, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. So another score there. Often you talk about the three phases of the game: defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a fourth phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. Now Crosby for the point after. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. One play, two plays, touchdown. That's all it took there. A very short and sweet drive that got him in the end zone. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points. You feel a little bit better about yourself as you move.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The safety, Adrian Amos, comes crashing in for the sack.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Card out a throw. That is incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
He'll find his tight end. That's Waller. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They tackle him almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
A terrific return. 30 yards all in all. And that will come the offense as they take over. Rodgers now on 1st down. He's got a man. It's his fullback. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. It's a big play there for Green Bay. 44 yards. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles. It certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long. And I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
There's no doubt in my mind.
And do you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right? I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
Extra point try now for Crosby. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Well, it wasn't a one-play drive, but I think they'll take it. The scoring summary, 2 plays and into the end zone. Penalty flag down. So they hit the ball before it went 10 yards. I know that's tough, but you got to stay disciplined.
It is difficult because you're so eager to go get the football. It's that type of a play, but you're exactly right. Have to have the discipline to let it go 10 first.
185. 50, Mike's 50. Hey, I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Throwing on first down is Carr. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. Give him 6 on the play, and that'll make this a second down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Here's Carr to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Tyrell Williams was the intended target. And it's 3rd and 4. Shotgun now for Carr. He's got a man open. It's Hunter Renfrow. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Give him a first down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now, they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. And it looks like this will be the last play before the 2-minute warning. On 1st and 10, here's Carr. And his throw here's incomplete. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Now they got to get to the line quickly. A carry here for the big tight end. And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Packers D comes up with a big stop. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
Flush to his right. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. To throw, it's Rodgers. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. Despite the lead here in the 4th, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all. And to me, it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the other team can come back?
Extend it. Have some fun. Good footwork at the 30. He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Well, I'm just not sure what more we can say about him after that one.
But we're certainly going to give it a try, aren't we? Because I believe we're watching greatness personified. It has not mattered all game long where they've handed him the football. He's taken it and found the end zone. He is so locked into that so-called zone, I don't think they're going to get him out of it in this one.
Extra point up and good by Crosby. And the lead will swell by one more. So that drive, 4 plays. And the last play in the drive was a touchdown run by Aaron Jones. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. So out come the Raiders. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Carr going to give it to Jacobs. Able to fight through 1 tackle. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Carr, and that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. Here's A.J. Cole now. He's been terrific so far. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line. So it's all over. A Green Bay victory. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, up a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. And now we get to deal with a